You've reached Conversation with Mr. A. This is your host, Anthony Apostilla. Thank you for listening. Let's get right to the episode. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Conversations with Mr. A. This is your host, Anthony Apostilla. And so for this edition, I have senior student April Seiler. April, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
So this is a phone interview. And so to start off with, for our listeners out there, can you give a brief description of what Running Start is and which high school and college are you currently affiliated with?
Okay, so Running Start is pretty much where you can get your associate's degree during your last 2 years of high school. So I am a student at Moses Lake High School and also Big Bend Community College. So I take all my classes out at Big Bend, and then I'm able to get high school credit for that.
Okay. So why did you choose Running Start?
I chose Running Start because I was kind of ready for something new after a couple years of high school. And I figured it would be a good way to, get some of the college credits knocked out because I was planning on going off to college anyways.
Okay. Curious, the classes at Big Bend Community College. What does the Running Start, the community college classes, offer that the high school didn't?
Let me think. So they've got a lot of similar classes, like they've got your different science classes, English, math, everything like that. There are some interesting PE classes. They have like yoga and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's a lot of the similar like core classes.
Do you find them any easier or harder?
I would say they're harder than class. They're probably comparable to like AP classes, but the learning is just a lot more like intensive because you only have 12 weeks in each quarter, and usually you take like 15 credits per quarter. So for me, that's usually been like 5 credit classes, and I'll take 3 of them each quarter. So you're learning like everything that you would normally learn in like a year in high school in like 12 weeks.
Wow, in 12 weeks. That's 3 months, essentially 3 months by itself.
Yeah.
It kind of leads into the next question kind of, but I was gonna ask you, in your viewpoints, what are some of the rewards and challenges of Running Start from your perspective?
I would say the biggest reward is like more independence. When you're out at the college, there's less like, I guess they're just less hand-holding and also like fewer rules. Like, I don't know, you're not in class all day, which is nice. You just have like a couple classes throughout the week. You can have like hybrid classes too, where you're only there 2 days a week for like an hour or a couple hours, which is nice. So I would say I like that there's less class time and less like you need to be in class every day. Like, I don't know, one thing that was interesting to me was when you're done with a test, like if you have a test in class one day, you can just leave when you're done. And that's different from high school because usually you just have to keep sitting there for the rest of class and then you go on to the next thing, and your lunch is like scheduled into your day. But with Running Start, you kind of have a lot more control over your schedule, which is really nice. And I've appreciated that a lot. As far as challenges go, I would say it can be a little annoying that the schedule's slightly different from like the high school schedule. I've had it where like spring break isn't on the same week, so that's kind of annoying. because like friends and family aren't having spring break at the same time as me, or like I don't know, there will be like assemblies or stuff at the high school, and I like don't um, always know when they are, or don't always go to different like high school events, um, just because I don't know when they are, or they just don't work with like my schedule out at Big Bend. Um, and it's definitely challenging. Along with like the independence that comes with it, like you have a lot more responsibility to keep yourself on track and make sure you're keeping up with like assignments and stuff. But I would say overall, it's pretty rewarding and it's a pretty great option.
One of the questions I was going to ask also is, it do you find yourself missing a little bit with the social aspects of the high schools? And I think you're just saying like with the assemblies, but
Yeah.
you're saying with your friends. Um, is there a way where you can kind of get information like with the events or anything going on, or?
I mean, yeah, I would say a great way to stay like plugged in is to do like extracurriculars and stuff through the high school. I've done a lot of that, and that has been good just for like social time and stuff. As far as like during school events, like assemblies or whatever, um, I don't know. There's sometimes good communication about things like that, sometimes not. Um, but it's I don't know. I would say I don't really make like a huge effort to go to things that are during school um, hours that are like at the high school. Um, but definitely like after school events, things like that. Um, there's like different senior like events that I've gone to that were pretty fun. So I don't know. I would say if you do sports or extracurriculars or clubs, anything like that, it's pretty easy to still stay plugged in with people from high school.
Okay. Um, Now let's just say, now I'm not sure if you have close friends that are sophomores, but a question I would have is, to any current sophomore student for any school, any high school, they're interested in potentially doing running start. What would you tell that sophomore student?
Um, I highly encourage running start. I think it's a great option. But you really just have to look at what you want as the student. So, like, if you're looking to stay like extremely plugged into your high school, and you are sort of feeling like there's a lot of classes at your high school that you would still want to take, maybe running start is not the option you want to go with, just because you are looking to stay like super involved in your high school. If what you're interested in staying involved with is just extracurriculars, it will probably work out fine. So I'd say running start's still a good option. But if it's like classes and stuff, maybe not so much. There are a lot of students that take like high school classes still and do running start, but usually that only works out for like one or two classes. I would also say, like I mentioned, there's like a lot more independence and responsibility that comes with running start. So if you're somebody who can like keep yourself on track and stay on top of your work, um, that's great. I would recommend running start. If you're more like need more other people to keep you accountable for stuff, um, maybe not running start. Um, just because it is easy to fall behind if you're not keeping track of your own stuff. But
That kind of leads me to the next question I was going to ask is, maybe friends or those that you've observed or heard. What do you think is the biggest mistake for those who have been doing running start, or what have you heard, seen, observed? Do you think are students their biggest mistake total?
um, I think some people take um, too many classes at once. Sometimes, like with our school district now, you can take 20 credits a quarter if you want to, and those will be paid for like through Running Start. But when people take too many credits, they tend to not do so well in their classes and like get overwhelmed. So I would say don't do a lot more than you have to, because that could get kind of like too much. Other mistakes, I think, procrastination is generally a bad idea. Just because, I don't know, it's a bad habit to get into. And sometimes, if you miss due dates or things like that, it's much less forgiving in like a college environment. So I don't know. I would say just staying on top of your work is good. Don't
Have you
get
ha,
behind.
have you had the experience of missing a due date or knew anyone that did?
Um, there there was one like little thing I missed this year actually, like this last quarter. I just like wasn't paying attention and something was due at midnight like one day of the week and I just forgot about it and then the next day I remembered and I was like, "No," but it ended up not being a huge deal just cuz it was a really small
That,
assignment. But
that's good.
yeah.
I bet it had to be a little bit of a scare.
I know I was like, "Ah, what am I missing?" But
Oh,
yeah, worked out.
well, good. No, I'm glad. I'm glad. Now, obviously, you're a senior, and so you're going to be graduating here very shortly. I'm assuming with your high school diploma and your associates,
Yep.
correct?
Mhm.
Awesome. What do you what do you see for your future plans when you graduate? What are you looking at next?
So right now I'm planning on going to George Fox University in Oregon, um, and hopefully majoring in business administration, and maybe doing some studying abroad. So
Do you know where to?
I would like
Possibly.
to. I would like to go to a Spanish-speaking country, maybe Spain. I know that's one that they offer. Um, that would be. I think that would be a lot of fun, just to kind of put my Spanish skills to the test and learn more.
Okay. So you feel like this experience got you college ready?
Yeah, I would say it has. College and high school are pretty different environments. Um, Lots of different expectations. Um, I would say it's definitely prepared me pretty well for college.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So the fun part of the interview, which I do is towards the end, is it's the word association. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a word or two, and then tell me the first thing that comes into mind. And so I always do this with all my guests. The biggest thing that people who know me, the biggest thing that I really hate the most is pickles. And so let's start it off with pickles. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of pickles?
Um, dill pickles.
Okay. How about college work?
Um, Hard.
Okay. High school drama.
Lots of fun.
Okay. Relationship drama.
Not fun.
Yeah, okay. Body odor.
Yuck.
Okay, all right. Sushi.
Yum.
Pizza.
Pizza's very good. I like pizza.
Okay. Slow drivers.
Annoying.
Okay. Soda.
Not a big soda fan.
Okay. Fast drivers.
Also annoying.
Okay. Barbie.
um, Pretty good movie. The new one that came out.
Okay. Romantic movies.
Eh, I don't really like them.
Okay. Horror movies.
Ooh, I am not a horror movie person. Too.
Okay. Action movies?
Some of them are pretty good.
Okay. How about Cobra Kai?
Um, Solid 7 out of 10.
Okay. All right. How about rap music?
Uh, some is good, most not so much.
Okay. Classical music?
Good for studying.
Okay. Rock music?
I just think of my brother. He likes rock music a lot.
Really? Does he play any instruments?
He does. He plays trumpet, but also a little bit of everything.
Cool, cool. Video games?
Uh, Not my thing.
Okay. Partying?
Um, I don't know.
Okay, no worries. Winter?
Too cold.
Okay. Summer?
Too hot.
Okay. Springtime?
Springtime is beautiful, and it is just the right temperature.
Okay. How? Just a few more. Just a few more.
Okay.
How? Since you're saying about studying abroad, how about tacos?
Delicious.
Okay. Europe?
Um, Traveling, interesting.
Okay. Let's go for one more. How about Moses Lake?
Um, there's a lot of good people. It's a pretty good town.
Awesome. Okay, well, in closing, I just want to ask any final words or anything that you would like to tell our listeners about maybe Running Start, just generally.
Um, it's a great opportunity to just kind of further your education while you're even still in high school, um, and be exposed to kind of the college world. I would definitely recommend it a lot. Very highly recommend.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much, April, for your time. Appreciate doing this interview.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye bye. Take care. And that concludes this edition of Conversations with Mr. A featuring April Seiler. Thank you, April, for talking about your experiences as a Running Start student, as a senior, kind of going through. It's fun to do that phone interview. So I really appreciate the time that you took talking about it. So anyways, thank you for everybody for listening, everybody, and stay tuned for future episodes.